What's up guys, Shaddix here, and welcome to my in-depth guide on how to obtain the Dark Ice-type legendary Chien Pao in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now we're going to be going over where the seal is for this Pokemon, and where all 8 of the stakes are, and what abilities you're going to need for your ride Pokemon to be able to do all of this. Firstly, let's start off with the seal. You're going to want to go to this Pokemon Center here by all of the windmills and stuff, right by where Bombardier is. Now this one's a pretty easy one. You do not need any abilities to get to this door whatsoever, so you're just going to follow this pathway up. It'll be a lot easier to do if you have already beaten Bombardier, but it is not necessary to do. You just have to dodge a bunch of rocks on your way up here. So you're going to go ahead and take a left. You're not going to go all the way up, and you should be able to see it on the left off the cliff side over here by this big rock. If we look down past that, it's going to be right here. There'll be a little item here. It'll be nice and easy, and boom, here's your seal. You're going to see it's got 4 chains on it. If you're ever curious to know how many swords you need left, just come to the seal you're currently working on and look at the chains. For every 2 swords you pick up, one of the chains will disappear until they are all gone. Now let's get into the swords. Now for the first sword we're going to look at, you want to go to the exact same Pokemon Center you did for the door, and you're going to want to come up to about where this picnicker is, and you're going to come to this edge. If you look down into this little hole, you'll see that there is your first gold sword right down there. You don't need any abilities, you could just use the regular jump, come right down here, and go ahead and pick it up. This one's probably one of the easier ones to obtain, because you don't actually need any of the abilities for your ride Pokemon in order to get it. And then you could just use the fast travel back to any Pokemon Center to get out of here. Now for the next sword, you're going to want to go to Alfornada and start heading south past where the Leaking Tower of Paldea is. Now in order to get up here, I believe all you need is the jumping ability to get through the cave to get to Alfornada in the first place. Once you have the jumping ability, you're going to want to go ahead and just run past the Leaking Tower of Paldea, and you should be able to just look straight down and jump right down on top of it, right over this little ledge right here. This one's also pretty easy because all you need to do is get the jumping ability from, I believe, Orthworm, and you should be all set. So for sword number 3, you're going to want to come to this watchtower on your map here, the South Province Area 4 Watchtower. You'll be able to find this sword if you just follow my path here. Now in order to get to the sword, at the very least, you will need the running ability from Cloth and the jumping ability from Orthworm. You can finagle your way to it by using the flying ability that you'll get from Great Tusk or Iron Treads, but it's just a lot easier to go ahead and do it with the jumping and the running ability. So there is the sword over there. Now in order to get to it using running and jumping, you're going to want to go ahead and go around this bend, past this tree, and you're going to want to make sure you're sprinting for this. Now you're going to want to come to this little area right here. You're going to want to be running, and at the very end, last second, do a giant jump, and you should be able to clear the river with ease. From here, it's nice and easy. Just run over to this little cliff, and you could just drop down right on top of the sword. Now this next sword is a little odd. You're going to want to go ahead and fly to Cortando here. Now this one is going to be across the river. You can do this without getting any of the other abilities. However, it means going all the way around and back by the caves, or going all the way around that way by the terrestrialized Scyther and kind of going around to get to this side. You can do that any way you choose, or you could just get the super jump and jump across the river. That is also an easy way to do it. So you're going to want to come down this way. There's going to be a little bit of a cave down here. This is going to be the only yellow sword that is going to be inside any kind of cave. And it's going to be right here, kind of right in the middle. Real easy to see, nice, bright, glowing. So like I said, to get this one, you don't actually need any abilities. It just takes a little while to get all the way around to it. Now, just so you guys know how to get to it, without using any abilities, I'll go ahead and show you guys that now real quick in a quick little time lapse. So for sword number 5, you're going to want to come to the Pokemon Center just outside of the west gate of the main city here. Now for this one, you can get to it using multiple abilities. You could use Swim, you can use, I believe, just the Super Jump if you do it just right. The Swim's just the easiest way to do it, so if you go ahead and get Swim from Bombardier, you should be all set to get here without any problems. So you're going to want to go past all the smaller fields, and you're going to want to come to this back corner over here. This is going to be up by the Pokemon League. There's going to be a little river, and you should just be able to swim right across it without any problems. And like I said, if you're running and jumping, you can get across it pretty easily. You might be able to finagle it with just the jump that you get from Earthworm, but it's pretty easy either way. You can get to it multiple ways. You're just going to want to come up these little slopes. You're going to follow the pathway all the way up, and then tucked into a little corner is going to be a little yellow sword over here. You can actually see it pretty clearly on the map as well that there is a little indent in the side of the mountain. This one's pretty easy to get to. You shouldn't have any problems finding it. Now for sword number 6, you're going to want to come to this Pokemon Center here, the West Province Area 1 North, just outside of the Team Star base. We're going to want to go up to this watchtower area, and we can get there by going through this little passageway here. Now in order to get to this sword, you are going to need the climbing ability. This one is necessary to get to it. There's no other possible way without doing some sort of weird backwards hopping glitch thing that isn't even meant to be in the game, I believe. So you're going to want to pass through there, and you're just going to want to come, you're going to jump up here, and then right up there, you guys can see, there is sword number 6 as well. Nice and easy to get to. The only problem is you're going to need the climbing ability that you get from Dondozo. So for sword number 7, you're going to want to come back to this Pokemon Center that we came to when we first passed by Bombardier. Now for this sword, you can finagle your way to it just using the jumping, and actually you may not even need jumping, I don't know. It's possible to finagle it without jumping, but it's going to be right over there on that platform. It hasn't loaded in yet, but if you can just manage to stay, there it is. If you can manage to stay on the top of this little mountain peak-like area, you could just go ahead and slide right on down to it. You might not even need jumping, to be honest. It's just easier to do with jumping, and then obviously if you have flying, it is very, very easy. Now the 8th and final stake is going to be the easiest for you to get. You're going to want to come all the way here to Cascarafa, which you can get to without any abilities whatsoever, and you're going to want to come just outside the gym. Now from the gym, you're going to, if you're coming out of the gym, you're going to take a right and go over this bridge. Then from here, you're going to go behind these houses, and you can find the final stake just hidden behind this tree here. Now, when you pull the stake out of the ground, the 8th one, you will get an audio cue telling you that you have gotten all of them. Once you have seen that text pop up on your screen, all you have to do is go back to the shrine and catch your legendary, and we'll go do that now. Now, upon getting back here, there are no cutscenes whatsoever. So what you can do is you can go ahead and save it directly in front of the door. That way, if you fail it, you can always just reset your game and come back to it. It'll tell you a faint sound is coming from the shrine. It'll ask if you want to touch it. You can go ahead and click yes, and out will come the legendary Pokemon Chien Pao. And out of the seal it comes, and all you have to do is catch it now. Then once you've caught it, you can go ahead and start your hunt for the other 3 legendaries of Ruin. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and leave a like for me, and let me know what you guys think about this legendary Pokemon, and as always, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next video. Peace!